Every year you try and grow something different. For me, it's going to be these Uchiki Kuri squash. I wanted to do these for a while now. Early maturing, it says, sweet, nutty flavour. So from March to May, as we're in April, there's no better time to get these seeds planted. On the back there, there's a bit of gump. Pause the video if you want to read that. But for now, let's get these seeds planted. Open the packet, let's get 3 out. There they are. Pretty standard looking squash seeds, don't you think? I've got 3 1-litre pots filled with multi-purpose compost, nothing special. I've had these pots stand out overnight for the past couple of 3 nights. It's been raining, so I haven't had to pre-water them. Take your seed. I'm going to sow that one on its side. Cover it up and do the same with the other 2. On its side, going in like that. Cover it up. And then, guess what? Same process. And that's it for the first stage. I'll keep these well watered for the next couple of weeks and we will chart their progress. Let's have a look if it says when these should actually shoot. I need glasses, obviously. I can't see it, but it's probably going to be on that packet somewhere. Sowing indoors. Sow each individual on its edge in small pots. Oh well, I've done them in bigger pots. I can't see how long it takes for them to germinate, but let's say a couple of weeks. Oh yeah, and one last thing, don't forget to label your pots. A couple of weeks later, the Uchiki Kuri squash are slow to respond. We have 1 out of 3 at the moment. It has been quite cold and damp over here in the UK, so I don't know whether that is a telling factor, quite possibly, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that guy there survives, because if these 2 don't make it, it's all down to him. 2 months on from that last video clip, and this is where we are with the Uchiki Kuri seeds. Just 1 plant, and a very poor specimen at that. They've been one of the hardest seeds I've ever attempted to germinate, so not very successful. Well, I thought that experiment was a fail. That was until I started again. And this time, for some reason, I've had 100% germination, 3 out of 3. In fact, I had to pot this one on. And as you can see, he's looking really healthy. And these 2 smaller ones aren't doing too bad. The only difference I did was I put them in smaller pots when I attempted to get them going. So that might be the difference, I'm not too sure. But we've got something to go on. These have been an absolute nightmare to get to this stage, but 2 months on, we've got something. So we're going to go up to the plot, people, and plant these out. The big plant out with 3 is going in this bottom bed here. That is a pumpkin plant up the top there. I'm hoping that this guy is going to scramble this way because there's a bit of room over here. The other 2 smaller specimens I'm putting in this 3rd bed here for no other reason than I've got a bit of a gap from there to there, so why not? If not, why not, eh? So they're going there, and hopefully they'll scramble this way and won't disturb the beans too much, because by the time they get from there to there, these guys should already be up the sticks, flowering and producing beans. Alright, that's it. Let's get them planted. Planted and ready to rock and roll. You may notice I've built up the edges around the plant there, creating a kind of well, so when it rains or when I water, it will just gather in the centre there and feed the plant. And speaking of watering, and I'll do the same for these two. Right, we'll come back to these in a month or two to see how they're getting on. It's July and the plant is starting to throw out flowers, as you can see. And if we come down to here, we might have our very first Uchiki Kuri squash up on the plot. The other two plants aren't as developed as the other, but again, we might have something there. Fingers crossed. It's the middle of August, and as you can see, this one has ripened up lovely. I'm not going to pick it just yet because we still have more developing on other plants, so I want to see how big these smaller ones get and then harvest them all in one go. Look at that one. And that one there. Exciting times ahead. Well, it's September and it's time to cut these bad boys. As harvests go, this is pretty pathetic. This is the biggest one. He's not too bad. I'd say this is probably the size that these guys should be. There's another one almost the same size, and then these two smaller jobbies here. That one there, probably just a bit bigger than a tennis ball. So nothing spectacular. However, this was my first attempt at growing these guys, and considering how hard I found it was to germinate these in the early stages, I'm glad I've got something rather than nothing. There is one more underdeveloped specimen just hanging on the side of the fence here. I'd imagine now that I've cut the others off, the plant will push all of its energy into fattening this guy up. So I've potentially got 5, but obviously this one I'll cut, I don't know, in a couple of weeks time, maybe a month's time, if it does manage to fatten and ripen up. So there we go, my first attempt at growing these has only produced 4, potentially 5 with that other one that I've just shown you. So not a roaring success, but I'll probably give these another go next year and hopefully do it a whole lot better. But I'm happy enough with these guys for now. Who knows, I might not like the taste of them, or I may love them. Either way, I can't wait to try them in the coming weeks. Anyway, I think that's about it for this one. If you've got any hints or tips on how to grow these guys better, then do comment down below and let me know where I went wrong. And yeah, I'll be sure to implement those changes next season. Alright, I think that's it for this one, don't you? Thanks for joining me if you have. Remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel because that always helps. Share the video around if you fancy it. But most importantly of all, please do comment down below. And until the next one, bye for now.